Hey, it is time now for Super Sound Showcase. I am your host, Robert Hodge, and today I have a brand new guest. They have never been on our radio station before, and it is a marvelous group of musicians. They are called Court Street Company. And I want to just tell you that we have the scaled down acoustic version. There are 4 members of this band, but today Alan and Jonah have come, and they are the founding members of this band that is really doing some innovative music now. And I am impressed with what I've heard. This is my first time meeting the guys in person and hearing them live, and it's always a thrill when I can experience that on my own, but also share it with my listeners. So thank you for tuning in today. We are indeed sponsored by Culture Fix, and this is FM 93.5, the Burg, and WMBG AM 740. Gentlemen, welcome to the radio.
Thank you so much for having us, Robert. We really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You know this, and you know we have the luxury of a setup and a sound check and all the things that go on before we go on the air. And I've been having a great time with these guys. They have a good sense of humor, and they also are very talented artists. And you know, when the real talent walks in the door, it's always apparent. And not only that, you know, I'll share something that I believe, and I got this from impeccable sources that I'll tell you about later, but the thing is, the notion that real talent, when it's in the possession of musicians that are driven, all they need is opportunity and encouragement, and it will kick its way through a brick wall. So, you know what? On that road, great things happen. And absolutely. I want to tell you up front that these gentlemen are going to headline an appearance a week from tomorrow. They will be at the Norva Theater in Norfolk. And if you know anything about the local scene, the Norva is kind of a big deal, and it is something to be the top on the bill. And you have reached that position. That's a marvelous accomplishment.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's very exciting, and you're too kind. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Very kind words.
What's going to happen in that Norva show? What do you have going?
There's going to be pyrotechnics and explosions.
Seriously?
And,
None of that.
No, we're kidding. But there's going to be...
I was like, your tickets don't cost enough.
You can get them on the cheap.
Rock and roll. We're headlining, and we are lucky enough to have 3 great bands also sharing the bill with us.
Who's there?
The Lazy Dangers, a folk group.
Great band.
From Norfolk.
I'm thinking about that. That got into my head, and instantly I'm thinking, okay, a Lazy Danger. That's kind of nice because it's like a danger you don't really have to be afraid of, right? Because it's not really motivated.
Right.
They're awesome people.
They're great.
Really fun to hang out with and play music with.
Yes.
And did you have any selection? The selection process. Did you have a say in who was on the bill?
We do have a little bit of creative sway with who gets to play shows with us.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
have you worked with these acts?
Bill, yeah, we have before, and that's why we were so excited to do this show with them.
We've played with the Lazy Dangers, yeah.
Fox and the Bear is one of the other groups. It's 2 sisters, Jamie and Gina, and then Bended Light is the other group.
Okay,
so
which is a great group.
Nice.
4 bands total.
You sure do get a lot lot for your money when you go to the
You do.
Yeah, good bang for your buck.
Just for a $10 ticket, you can see all that.
$10, wow.
So just a $10 ticket.
And what time do you guys go on?
Well, the show starts at 7.
7. I think the music starts, and then...
Music starts at 7.
Yeah.
We'll probably play about 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, one of the things that drew me to your presence online was the fact that not only is there a selection of recordings of diverse songs, but these guys have actually gone to the trouble to really shoot real music videos. It's not just, here we are at such and such a club performing this song. You guys have staged and directed actual film that it's very impressive.
Thank you. And we can't take all the credit for that. We have, it's good to know talented people.
Yeah.
And I have a really good friend I went to school with who's a videographer, Jeremy.
Filmographer. He's a film extraordinaire, and Jeremy Bates is his name, and we are so fortunate to have him in our corner. So he shot and edited
both of our videos, and he's really talented. So it was fun to just go in with ideas and see what came out of it.
Absolutely.
Well, that kind of collaboration is so important, but also rare until you get to a certain level where there's a record company sometimes financing and paying for it, and that's brilliant. And it says a lot about artists if you are able to attract, across the disciplines into other areas of the métier, and you're able to bring artists to you to assist in your message. That speaks volumes for what you're doing.
Yes,
and who you are,
so
really.
Yeah, we're lucky. And I think we wanted a really good production value and stuff because, like you said, when you're just doing it on your own, you don't want to look
you don't have but one chance to make a first impression.
It's very true. It's very true.
And I'll be honest, a lot of times I hear something or I'll go and look at something, and I just pass right over it because it's just not presented in a way that is interesting, or your favorite word, compelling.
Right.
And that's cool. Now, Alan, I want you to tell me, where in the world did you come up with Jonah, and how did Court Street Company come into existence?
Okay, so here's where I came up with Jonah.
He created me.
I worked...
Dr. Frankenstein.
I worked at this now deceased Virginia Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh dear.
In Portsmouth, Virginia.
So if it's deceased now, does that mean nobody's famous anymore?
It means that, most
the venue is just not there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's no longer there. Across the street from said former Sports Hall of Fame is the greatest coffee shop in the world.
Called The Coffee
Shop. And they got it right when they named it, calling it The Coffee Shop.
No frills. To the point.
No frills. There's a little extra E on the end of shop, so you know.
The waitresses wear those little hats?
Shop. Well, here's where we're going with it. Right. Yeah. Jonah was a barista there, and I would go over there and be a derelict and not be working at my job, and we would talk.
He had the most cushy job.
I had the cushiest job in the world, and which was as supervisor and tour guide at the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
And I would go over and find any excuse to talk with Jonah about music and like what we were listening to, and oftentimes we would line up. So that's how we met, and I drank a lot of coffee, if you can't tell. Yeah. And
your eyes are very wide.
Yes, absolutely.
We had to stop for coffee on the way here.
We did. He pulled up and I said, "Dad, can we go get coffee?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely." So,
well, while we're on the subject, because I know soon y'all will be famous enough that you won't want to talk about your earlier lives, but tell me the secret of a good barista. Is it like a bartender where you have to have certain things that you really are connected to the people? Or
I think if you can remember everyone's order, you can. I think it was more about the conversations and getting to know people.
Agree, because I work there now.
Because now he works at the coffee shop.
I work there now. Plot twist. Now I work there.
You've been a role model.
He was a role model, and everything he's saying is accurate. Yeah, names, drinks.
You just got to be friendly.
How people's moms are doing.
Customer service.
Right.
That's the key.
Yes.
But
that's cool. Now, the people that you interact with in the coffee shop and that know you as the Supreme Baristas of Portsmouth.
Yes.
I'd like to know. Oh, that could be a nice band name too.
Supreme Baristas of Portsmouth.
I like that. Yeah.
He's moved on though. He's a WHRO. He can't be in.
Oh, that's
barista
true. He's
band.
a high-class radio producer, so I'm on my best behavior today as well. But and that's interesting because I'm not always on my best behavior, am I, Riley? Anyway, the interesting question that I had in mind, Lord, I hope it doesn't leave. Otherwise, I'll have to depend on FedEx to return it to me. And, we might be in a little moment of trouble. We got off on a tangent there.
That's all right. We tend to do that.
I was going to say, do the people that know you in this capacity and appreciate you for such, do they also realize about the band? Do all of them know what's going on under the surface?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Portsmouth as a whole has been like our biggest supporter.
Nice. Old Town and Portsmouth has kind of treated us like sons. And
nice.
We it's occasionally we'll get blessed with the title of Portsmouth Rock Band, and we're grateful.
Nice.
We're grateful for it when someone when we refer to it as that, because.
Do you guys play over at Barron's? Because I love Barron's Club.
We have played once or twice, 2 or 3.
I think that's such a cool room if they remember to turn the lights on.
It's a classic bar.
Yeah, it is a classic bar. Barron's has good vibe.
Yeah, it's like your favorite bar, I think.
Yeah. If they remember to turn the stage lights on, it's great.
Right.
Otherwise, you can't see the performers, and I have to go up and say,
it draws you closer to the stage.
Yeah.
But their food is so amazing.
Yes.
I really like it.
Absolutely.
And the music is always great. They seem to have a good booker over there.
Absolutely, they do.
But anyway, okay, so is this your first time at the Norva, or has that happened before?
It has happened once before.
It has.
So it's a bit of a reunion kind of show.
It is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How long ago was the last time you played?
Back in September. So it was a pretty quick turnaround, but we're lucky to be doing it and happy to be doing it. So.
Okay. Well, that's great. Tell me about your catalog of music, because you do a lot of your own writing, right?
Yes.
How many songs are in that catalog? Have you been prolific, or?
I mean, we pretty much are stuck to the original music. I mean, we do a few covers here and there, but we're both songwriters. So
I would say 92. I don't know how I got this percentage. I just pulled this out of thin air, but I would say 92% of all of our music.
92.5 maybe.
92.7%.
No, I think it's 93.5.
That's right.
It is. It's 93.5%. 5% of all of our music is original.
Yeah.
And
awesome. Yeah. Keep that. We'll subliminally plant that.
We've got the 2 singles that we have out, which both
Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine and Fall Away.
And Fall Away.
And so we've got the 2 singles with music videos, and we have an EP with 5 songs that's going to be released in March.
And it's coming, and I understand there will be a world premiere on 93.5.
Yeah.
There will be.
I think so.
Yes.
We understand that too. Yes. It's going to be great.
That's going to be indeed a highlight because, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to love their music when we get around to that today. And, I like the idea that we do the interview first because people get a sense of who you are and what you're like, and we're in the studio having a good time. And then all of a sudden we get a chance to unveil the music and just unleash it on everybody. And
yes,
that can be a very powerful surprise out of
we
the
hope
blue.
so. Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us about the songs you brought today. You're going to do both of your singles, presumably, or no?
Sure.
Sure.
We can. Yeah, we
can.
We sort of
no, don't
that.
change on my account. What did you have in
we
mind?
plan on doing one of the singles.
Yeah,
okay.
One
and
of the
then
singles, Little Miss Sunshine.
The other 2 will be
on the EP.
On the EP.
Oh, good. Advanced promo, very smart businessman.
Yeah, well, something like that.
Well, and you can hear every single and all the songs from the EP if you come to the Norva on Friday, January 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But today we're going to have 3 stripped down acoustic versions of...
So another one of Alan's, we'll be playing as Indigo. That's going to be on the EP. And then one that I wrote is called October. So.
Well, I'll confess that sometimes when I book a band and, there's always a period where they make a conscious decision, do we bring the whole band or do we scale it back and do an acoustic thing? Sometimes it can be so exciting to have the band, but I think to get a real sense of the music and the power behind the songs, it is sometimes interesting to take just the acoustic version. And then, of course, you get to compare, with the full band performance that'll be in the show. Because,
yes, sir.
I mean, even though they didn't actually make it to the studio today, they're still going to be included in the Norva, right?
Absolutely. They're with us. They're here in spirit. Yeah, our drummer, Kyle.
Okay, guys, your jobs are safe, okay?
Yes.
And our bass player, Tim Singer.
Yes.
Give them a huge shout out.
Yeah, Kyle and Tim are an integral part of everything we're doing. And you'll get to see that next Friday.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
What is the video where you start singing and walking in the woods, and then you come out of the side?
Yes.
I just love that. And then the rest of the group is in the field. What is that video?
That's Fall Away.
Okay, you got to go see that video because I just loved it.
Yeah.
And is that the one where you're also on the boat?
That's Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine's on the boat.
There's lots of exciting things.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these guys, they got it together, and that's one of the things that really made me anxious to have you guys here because I'm so interested when I see artistic vision, and it's not just a matter of we're going to get up on stage and play, music. It's important for a band to define their sound and define what they want it to be, and then figure a way to express it in a way that the public will grasp it.
Right,
and
it's
you've done
accessible,
that. You've done it. It's marvelous.
Thank you.
Very, we both love and care a lot about like the art behind it and the meaning behind it. So we wanted to have that in the videos. It wasn't just like a
And we wanted to add another dimension to it to where you can enjoy it on a whole different level.
Yeah.
And maybe next time you're hearing the song without the video, you'll be thinking about a part in the video that you saw, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, indeed. And in fact, I'm sure there'll be people in the audience at the Norva that'll be reenacting it as you play it.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Could be.
Fans do funny things, don't they?
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what? We are at a point where we're going to go away to a commercial break, and we are going to come back and we are going to let people hear this wonderful music. And all the superlatives that I've thrown out there, y'all going to live up to it and surpass it even then.
We sure hope
Fingers
so.
crossed.
Oh, no kidding. All right, so we will be right back. And if you are with us on our social media page, if you're on Facebook watching what we're doing here in the studio, that coverage will continue live as we prepare for the performance segment. And if you are on the radio, we're going to give you a couple of commercials, and we will be right back, and we will have the music of Court Street Company. What's the first song, gentlemen?
First song is going to be called Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, and this is the current single, right?
Yes.
It's got a great video, and you will recognize, if you're familiar with this area and you've been to Portsmouth where they are based, you will recognize landmarks in downtown High Street and the Commodore Theater. And it's just, I was captivated really by the cinematic capture of some of the sites that I'm familiar with myself over there. It'll be nostalgic in its own right. And what year was that car? That was like an old Rambler or something, wasn't it?
67 or...
Yeah, that'll stir up some interest.
No, it's 50s. 50.
Okay.
57. And it's not you may think it's not a Nomad. It's a wagon. When I asked Linda,
well, yeah, because the whole band fit in the back of the car. That's a little crazy.
It's a wagon, and I said, "Ma'am, I promise you, if you just let us use this car, we won't scratch it." And I said, "Thank you for letting us use your Nomad." And she said, "Oh, sweetie, if it was a Nomad, you couldn't use it. It's a wagon."
Oh, very cool. All right, well, we learn something every day. All right, so here is Little Miss Sunshine from Court Street Company.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Little Miss Sunshine. You know, I love that song, and a couple of things pop into my head. It is not only melodic, but it's commercial in today.
Thank you.
Well, in today's standards, and usually you pay a price sometimes for the things that are popular in music today.
Certainly.
And,
Yes.
you know, artists, if
trade-off,
we're
for sure.
going to sit out and define how to become a commercial hit, it requires something entirely different. But you seem to have found that commercial sound without sacrificing any of the musicality or the phrasing.
Thank you
and that's
very much.
beautiful.
We really appreciate it.
And
Thank
it
you.
makes it all the catchier. You know, it makes it all the more hummable. And, you know, I also find that there's so many elements of different genres in there. There's a little bit of pop, there's some rock, and there's some even folk going on in there.
A little bit.
How do you
Yeah.
guys define your sound if I were to say, well, what kind of music do you play?
I'll let Alan speak first.
Okay.
How about that?
So I would say that it would be more of pop rock, close to power pop. But if you said power pop, that's kind of broad. So we would pop rock maybe. I think when you hear the folk come out, it's just because before we were a four-piece band, Jonah and I
Yeah.
did the singer-songwriter thing for a little while.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
We kind of
I think the best way we've been able to describe it is that we both like love a lot of music, like
Nice. And
from
I
the
love
older music, but like he's more 70s and I'm more 60s.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of we meet in the middle.
But I love when an artist doesn't rule out their own personal influences. I love
Yeah.
when
absolutely.
you hear those things come through the music. And so far, you know, I find a lot of groups that are so content to just lose their character somewhere in the search for success. And that's a shame, because I think what makes you authentic is bringing all
your
of it to
influence
the
along
table.
with you. Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's great.
Yeah.
So the next song, what do we got?
Yeah, this next one's called October, and
Okay.
so it's gonna be on the EP. It's one I wrote a while ago for my.
In October, maybe?
It was written around October.
Near October.
It was written in October, and that's when I asked my now fiance out. So it was a song I
wow.
wrote for her.
And when did the fiance, you know, when
That
did
happened.
come around?
She started dating me after I played her the song.
Oh.
Yeah.
so
but-
that is, you know,
Yeah. I mean,
it's good. It's a good song.
I didn't mean to go too deep there, but yeah, and then we
And
got
when
engaged.
did you get engaged?
In last spring.
Awesome.
So last March.
Well, it seems
Yeah.
like an important time to send her a shout out.
Yeah. Hopefully she's listening. So.
Her name?
Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. I think this one's for you.
Yeah, this one's called October.
All right, here is Court Street Company with October.
Sometimes I worry that I lose my voice. Somehow it finds me in the middle of the night. When I think that things could only get worse. Somehow it all turns out alright. I'm making plans for us in my heart, even though my mind tells me to stop. All of my dreams may not come true, but at least I can say that I tried. And I may not travel very far, but I'm gonna love until I die. I'm making plans for us in my heart, even though my mind tells me to stop. I remember looking in your eyes, holding you in the middle of the night.
I knew that everything would be alright. I'm making plans for us in my heart, even though my mind tells me to stop. I'm making plans for us in my heart, even though my mind tells me to stop.
I like that song. And you know what? I love the tag on that because it's just, it says so much of what we all feel. I mean, we all have those moments where, you know, your heart is leading and your head is like, you better put the brakes on, crazy.
That's life, man.
Yeah. But you know what? I love the way y'all have expressed it. You've tweaked it in just a way that it's so familiar even the first time I'm hearing it.
Well, thank you.
It's very nice.
That means so much to us.
Thanks. All right. So, you know, it's always sad when it comes to the closing song, but I know you got something spectacular you've saved for the end. What have we got?
Definitely. Well, Alan?
This song is also on our upcoming EP. It's called Indigo. And I guess inspiration for it is my beautiful wife.
Yeah.
And there's a woman's name in the song, but that's not my wife's name.
Yeah.
But you can't be too literal.
You can't be too literal.
And what is your wife's name?
The beautiful Brittany Hudson.
Okay, because I've already shouted out to Lauren. I'm not getting in trouble for anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
We gotta be
All right.
totally equal.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's hear
Indigo. This one's called Indigo.
Song.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't want to take this slow. I'm so lost in your indigo. Natalie, I've got to know. She's got style, red hot American smile. I think my shallow heart stopped beating. Sugar in venom feels every inch of her tendon. I think my shallow heart stopped beating. I don't want to take this slow. I'm so lost in your indigo. Natalie, I've got to know. I don't want to take this slow. I'm so lost in your indigo. Natalie, I've got to know. Tell me your secrets. I'll do my best just to keep it. I think my shallow
I like it. And how long did she make you wait before she let you know?
She still hasn't let me know.
I don't believe that for a minute. But you know what? That's a catchy song. I like it. And, you have so much power in your voice. And those octave jumps, man, you're just spot on. And your harmonies are so tight. It's just absolutely brilliant to listen to you. And I thank you for coming over here.
Oh, thank you for having me so much.
And for really making the afternoon.
Riley. He was also here.
Yeah, Riley's over there with that camera making it look good. So, the beautiful part of this show is I do find new friendships and new associations with musicians, and the music that we all appreciate, is celebrated through the show. So thank you for tuning in today. This has been a real pleasure to host my special guest, Court Street Company, on Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix here on FM 93.5 The Burg and WMBG AM 740. I'm your host, Robert Hodge, and as I tell you every week, we couldn't do it and wouldn't have a need to do it if you people weren't tuning in and listening. So please, how can they find you on the web?
CourtStreetCompany.com. It's very easy. CourtStreetCompany.com. If you're on Facebook, you can find us, Court Street Company, on Facebook. Like it. And Instagram at Court Street Company.
Well, please go and look up these gentlemen and find out how rich their music is. And then if you are available, please go over next Friday night on the 25th. Please consider going to the Norva Theater in Norfolk. It's right there on Granby Street. There's so many great places you can have dinner and then go to the wonderful show and see them in concert. And I think it sounds like a perfect night